Now, Nisarga Adhikary is joining us. Nisarg identifies himself as an ethical hacker, CBSE whistleblower. Nisarg, welcome to NewsX. Thanks for speaking to us. Nisarg, you've made very tall claims about hacking into the CBSE marking system. Can you explain to our viewers what exactly did you hack into and what could you do?
So in February 25, when exams are still going on, there were circulars by CBSE about this OSM portal. And the link was really public and there was no IP gating, so I could access the link very easily. And I'm pretty sure that this was a production URL and CBSE is making false claims or like pointless pointless claims to defend themselves at this point. But back then, when I accessed the portal, I found really shocking information here, and I also found a very important master password in the front end bundle of the site, which allowed me to access any examiner's account with just the user ID. I could tamper grades, mass extract evaluator information, and so on. I immediately documented all the vulnerabilities and reported it to CERT. They just gave me a thank you mail, asked for more information, and when I gave them the more information, they never followed up or responded. I tried following up several times, but they didn't respond either. So they just fixed the master password vulnerability in 2 or 3 days after taking the portal down. But over the span of 3 months, most of the vulnerabilities still existed. And there is a platform called Web Archive, which archives web pages. They archived CBSE's web page on 6th March. And in that archive, we can see the code, and anyone can verify that that code still has vulnerabilities, which any AI agent or any person can read the code and tell that.
All right.
Yes, sorry.
Right, go on.
Later, when CBSE made their first initial statement yesterday, they shared a link, and that link didn't even exist. That domain was unregistered. So someone from my circle bought it and redirected it to my domain.
Okay.
It was really funny and embarrassing for CBSE. Like if you click the link shared by them, it was taking it to my
Right.
to my blog.
CBSE has squarely refuted your claims.
The tweet and they retweeted again with a different URL saying that this is a test URL and no production data was infiltrated. I shared like screenshots of that I accessed production data, like I could access real data. And the examiner's account I accessed, that person exists in real life. He's a teacher at a real school and he's on the faculty directory of that school. I have screen recordings of that. I shared sensor screen recordings on X, and today morning some security researchers who are my friends found out that there's something called load balancers that balances the traffic on CBSE's website. So the same load balancers were connected to CBSE production domains, and that same balancer was pointing to the and thus its site I have cbse.org.co.in is and the link shared in CBSE is pointing to the same load balancer. It just can be a coincidence. And there's no point for CBSE to have a load balancer on test site if it was meant for testing and it don't get much traffic.
Nisarg, CBSE has refuted your claims. And CBSE has said the screenshot of the URL that you've shared is a testing site and not the actual marking website like you're saying. What's your response to that?
What is the actual marking site then? Like I audited all the CBSE related domains under that subdomains under that domain, and all of them were hosting the same code under the same infra. Like I also shared the screenshot of that, and I could access production data. The account I access on the teacher is a real teacher at a real school. Why did they use real data for testing? Then they could just use dummy data. They don't use real data for testing.
Okay, sure. Yes.
And CBSE sent out a mail to their teachers, examiners, and I have a screenshot of the mail, and that mail contains the same URL which I had hacked and which is mentioned on CBSE's post.
All right. Do you think, Nisarg, then that there are serious tech glitches in our education system.
There are glitches, obviously. And even if it was test portal, why wasn't it fixed? Like, why was only the master path vulnerability fixed? And in 6 March, I was able to access like client-side OTP verification and other vulnerabilities are still there, and still, and anyone other than me can independently audit it. And people, other security researchers also verified my claims, and they said it was true.
Right. Nisarg, now several students you would know, they have already posted on social media claiming the answer sheets they've received are not the same as the ones that they wrote during the exam. How troubling is this for you as a young student?
This sounds troubling. I haven't applied for reevaluation, but I know what they're going through, and it's pretty disappointing to see.
Okay. Do you feel CBSE and other educational systems in India don't take online security seriously?
I obviously think that I'm not sure about other education boards like IB or other well-maintained boards, but CBSE doesn't take it seriously, and that's very clear from what we can see. After my reports, I followed up several times. I contacted the vendor, I contacted CBSE, but no one bothered reaching out to me or replying to me. It's just pretty sad at this point.
Right.
No, no, really sad.
If you were tasked with securing our online systems, what would you do and what would your advice to the government be?
Properly before taking it to production. Like it's such a delicate system handling millions of students' marks and their future, and it is just left out publicly like this without proper audits and checks. It's just I don't know what to say.
Why do you think, Nisarg, that the government is not routinely hiring hackers such as yourself to check if our critical educational websites can be hacked into?
I mean, you can just it's just apparent like that they do not care about security much, and I don't think like there are also data breaches. Someone in 2018 hacked Aadhar's site and it was left hacked for an year after reports also, but Aadhar UIDAI, which controls Aadhar, didn't fix it. He had to publicly disclose the vulnerability, and he is a fellow hacker I know. So this is not a one-off event. Like certain ignores reports like this a lot, and this is not the first time it's happening, and I'm not surprised either. I'm just disappointed.
Right. Nisarg, do you think that the traditional physical examination was actually better off than this OMS system, given the loopholes that it
I'm
has?
personally fan of the digital evaluation thing, which is done in exams like SAT and JEE, where the thing is totally digital. There are no like sheets involved and scanning. I'm personally a fan of that, but CBSE, this thing could have been also done in a better way, but they couldn't implement it properly. So it's their fault.
All right, sure. Nisarg, for now, thank you very much for joining us and for raising your concerns here on NewsX.